Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, warm welcome. So in today's episode, Altcoin Annihilation season, we're going to be updating what is going on in the Total 2, which is the altcoin market cap. We're going to be quickly updating what is going on in the Bitcoin dominance, and then we're going to overlap the two charts, as I believe this is going to be a great indicator of when the altcoin bottom is in. If you're confused as to what these charts are, why are we overlapping, what is any of this, don't worry, I'm going to explain as we go along. So let's jump right into today's video. Starting off right on the bat, I did just want to say I did make a video with this chart specifically 5 days ago, and I made this video saying this chart will call the altcoin bottom. I specifically said in that video, and I've been saying for the past month, the past 6 weeks now. I mean, if you go over to my Twitter, I've been letting you know altcoins are going to get slaughtered. You can go check out the timestamps. I've been ruthlessly saying this. I've been, tweeting things like this: Bitcoin beating down the shitcoins, nobody's safe when Cowboy pulls out the inverse chart. I've also been telling you buying the dip, it just has not worked. The buy the dip mentality on altcoins has not worked for months now. And what we're currently witnessing is Bitcoin capitulating below a massive channel. We are moving to the downside, but what's very interesting about this is we all know altcoins follow Bitcoin, but what some people don't know is what the Bitcoin dominance has in terms of an effect of the market. So at this moment in time, the Bitcoin dominance is going on a rampage. We've been predicting this for the past 6 weeks or so, and we've been saying, while the Bitcoin dominance is going up, do not buy altcoins, because it's basically like putting a shotgun towards your face and looking down the barrel and seeing if there's a cartridge in it. Just wait. It's not worth it buying altcoins right now, in my opinion. We should really just wait for a trend reversal, because you can see that, in terms of the squeeze one, which is our momentum indicator over on the Bitcoin dominance, we're exponentially gaining, more and more momentum day after day after day. If we switch this over to the Heikonashis, you can very much see that we've really only had like 4 days in the red in the past, how long has this been now? So in the past 34 days, we've had 4 days in the red. Bitcoin dominance is on a massive rampage. Daily time frame as well, our momentum indicator, the squeeze one, is once again ticking over to light green, indicative that we're about to enter a massive further leg up to the upside. Now, this being said as well, the Bitcoin dominance going up means that Bitcoin is going to outperform altcoins. If you don't know what the Bitcoin dominance is, the easiest way to explain it is, imagine the total crypto market cap. So the market cap of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and every single altcoin, but obviously Ethereum's an altcoin, I'm just basically, the entire crypto market cap is the total crypto market cap. And the Bitcoin dominance is not, it's the percent out of the total crypto market cap that Bitcoin takes up. So let's say hypothetically there is $1 trillion in the entirety of the crypto markets. If the Bitcoin dominance is at 50%, then that means that out of that 1 trillion, 50% of that is Bitcoin's market cap. Ergo, Bitcoin's market cap would be 500 billion. At this moment in time, the maths is a tiny little bit off, because the total crypto market cap is sitting at around about, well, 1 trillion basically. And the Bitcoin dominance is pushing up for that 48%. So as you can imagine, Bitcoin's market cap is swinging around to that 500 billion mark. We don't even need to look at the market cap to verify this with the dominance. But I did just want to briefly say the dominance is breaking out of this massive macro trend. And if you think that your altcoins have been hit hard in the past couple of weeks, I would just like to show you that, at least in my opinion, the Bitcoin dominance is going all the way up to 25%. And in the past couple of weeks on this trend, if you think that your altcoins have been hit hard, this is because the Bitcoin dominance moved up 17%. We have another 24% move to go, and this is to 60%. This is accounting for diminished returns from the previous cycle top up here at 73%. And bear in mind, the charts didn't actually have diminished returns whatsoever. So for example, the Bitcoin dominance went down to a low of 35%, coming into this was basically, when the bull run was happening. So the reason why the Bitcoin dominance goes down the bull run is because people were more interested in altcoins. A lot more money flows into the altcoin market cap, and then the inverse happens in a bear market. Altcoins get hit a lot harder. People liquidate their altcoins, they move over into a Bitcoin only position, and as you can see, Bitcoin dominance rises, Bitcoin outperforms altcoins. And once again, you can see, I'm sure you all know that most altcoins outperform Bitcoin in the bull run, and this was what we saw, from December 2020 all the way down here to May of 2021. This was the bull run. This is when Bitcoin went up. This is when the altcoins went up, and the altcoins massively outperformed Bitcoin, which is why the dominance went down. Now, once again, you may be thinking that the altcoins are cheap right now, right? Because they've been getting battered the past couple of weeks. It has been, 24 to 48 hours since we've broken out of this macro pattern. So I'm telling you, just like I've been saying this for the past month, altcoins are going to get absolutely slaughtered. With that being said, all I really want to say on the Bitcoin dominance is, in my opinion, we're heading up to the 60% mark. If we head over to the total crypto market cap before we check out this chart, which is an amalgamation of the total 2, which is the altcoin market cap, and the Bitcoin dominance. So the total crypto market cap, this is obviously all the altcoins, and Bitcoin is capitulating below the 618, and we said that when this happens, this is going to wipe out 490 billion worth of valuation in the crypto market. We've already wiped out 150 billion. At this moment in time, we only have another 340 billion to go, which is about another 31 to 32% move as of the time of recording this. And bear in mind, I think it's super conservative to assume that you would bottom at the 786 Fibonacci. Why is this conservative? Because we never bottom at the 786 Fibonacci. Specifically, if we go over to the total 2, let's put it up over on this chart. If we draw our fib from the cycle low all the way back down here in March in 2020, a lot of you know this is the pandemic scare. A lot of people would disagree that this is where you should draw the start of the trend from, because this was a black swan event. You could even draw this, slightly higher. Nonetheless, it doesn't make too much of a difference. I am going to keep it down here, as this is where I perceive the macro trend to have started from. With that being said, once again, if we do come down to the 786, which from where we are right now, let's just see how much the altcoins have dropped, because once again, we were saying that 290 billion of the altcoin market cap was about to be wiped out. Since we made that prediction, almost 129 billion has been wiped out, and we still have approximately about another 160 billion. So once again, a lot of the altcoins have been getting slaughtered the past couple of weeks. This is only, half the move down to the 786, and we're not even, halfway up to the Bitcoin dominance peaking at 60%. So this can get a lot worse. Why is it conservative to say that we would bottom at the 786 Fibonacci down here, which would represent a total altcoin market cap valuation of approximately 400 billion? Well, because we never have done that before. That's not how these market cycles work. If we untick the logarithmic growth curve scale, if we zoom in and we check out what happened in the 2018 bear market, you can see all the way from the lows down here, even if you want to drag it down to literally as low as this can possibly go down here, we've got this drawn down to we've literally got this drawn down to 0. So, bear in mind, the higher we drag this up, the higher the 786 goes. So the fact that I have this at 0 should show you that this is the most conservative way you can draw the 786 Fibonacci. And what did we do in the 2018 bull run? Well, you can see we went on this massive rally. We broke down, came up to the 0.5 Fibonacci, got a rejection, broke down, bounced back up, didn't quite make it to the 618, but more or less this was still a rejection within the vicinity of this region. We broke down below the 786, bounced up to the 786, got a rejection, and moved down for one more leg to the downside. So it is not like altcoins, it is not like the altcoin market cap to hold the 786 Fibonacci. In fact, the last time we did this, we capitulated approximately 64% below the 786 fib. So it really does seem black and white to me that predicting for another, what is this at this moment in time? Predicting for another 340 billion to be wiped out of the altcoin market, this is a conservative target, and a lot of people may disagree with me and say I've been too bearish. People have been saying that for the past month, and altcoins have been absolutely slaughtered in the past month. Like I said, if you head over to my Twitter, if you want to follow me, at 618_cowboy, I've been relentlessly tweeting that altcoins are getting absolutely slaughtered, you know. Obviously, you know, I'm predominantly joking, but I do want my followers to realize now is not the right time to buy altcoins, and I much rather be disliked for presenting my honest opinion and telling you how it is. I've been very, very adamant. I've been telling you my integrity is much more important than views. I would much rather say altcoins are going to get battered and these charts look like dog shit than be like, oh my god guys, it's an emergency video, you know, we're holding the 618, we're going to go to 100,000 Bitcoin, we're going to go to 10,000 Ethereum. And that is what some YouTubers are happy to do, but they do not care about your investments. They do not care if you're profitable in the market. They simply want to use you for views. And this is why on my channel, when you look at my videos, I do not use clickbait, I do not pull stupid faces, I do not use emergency emojis, I do not do all of these other things, because I genuinely am here to present my honest opinion on what is happening in these markets. And if you go back to my videos, you fact check what I've been saying on Twitter and YouTube, everything has been coming into fruition. And people have been saying I've been too bearish on Cardano. People have been saying I've been too bearish on ApeCoin, because I've been saying for quite a while now, you know, if you zoom through my videos, some of the titles, like I've been saying ApeCoin to 420 2 weeks ago. You know, some people disagreed with that and said I'm being too bearish, but you know, you come over to these altcoins and ApeCoin is literally sitting at 420 right now. You know, we've been predicting these drops for a very, very long period of time, and I'm still predicting that it is going to get a lot worse. So with that being said, let's head over to the total 2 with the Bitcoin dominance displayed over the top of this. So if we load up this chart over here, what this chart is, if we remove this previous Fibonacci, this drawing was simply us talking about how the previous market structure from the 786 Fibonacci was not held. And as you can see, let me remove this Fibonacci as well. So we've just got a nice plain and simple chart of what is going on over on the on the total 2, which is once again the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin. This is the altcoin market cap. If we remove the 200 moving average as well, what you'll notice is these two charts are inversely correlated to each other. For example, you can see while the total 2 was going on a massive bull run, this means that altcoins were going on a massive bull run. What did the Bitcoin dominance do? Well, while we were in this bull run, like I said, altcoins outperform Bitcoin in bull runs. Bitcoin outperforms altcoins in bear markets. It is completely factual. If we plot a couple of horizontal rays over the top of this chart and extrapolate to key areas where we've had these massive bottoming structures, like down here, these literally almost exactly always correlate to the top. So for example, you can see what is going on. These are constantly diverging from each other. In fact, they've probably got like a 90-95% divergence rate. What do I mean by that? You know, they can trend sideways at the same time, sure, but the total 2 goes up, meaning that altcoins are going on a massive bull run, and while this is happening, Bitcoin dominance is going down because interest in altcoins is much more prominent. What happens when the Bitcoin dominance bottoms and the Bitcoin dominance starts to head up? Well, this simply means Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins. You can see it went all the way up to this peak up here, which was the all-time high for the Bitcoin dominance back in August of 2019. Subsequently, what happened after the Bitcoin dominance and went on a rally? The altcoin market cap, once again, the total 2, the altcoin market cap, went on a massive capitulation, had a dead cat bounce, and moved down to its low over here. Now, I'd once again like to point out that it does not 100% correlate each time. So for example, the bottom was actually down here for the altcoins, whereas the top for the Bitcoin dominance was just here. So you can see this was actually about 200 days apart. Nonetheless, you can definitely capitalize off these macro moves, and specifically when the Bitcoin dominance bottoms, it's a beautiful signal the altcoins are probably going to get wrecked. And this is what I've been talking about for the past month. This is how we were so accurately able to say that altcoins are going to get wrecked. Now, once again, you can see these are not 100% correlated, but what happens when the altcoins go on a massive bull run? Well, the Bitcoin dominance, you know, it broke down, had a dead cat bounce, and bear in mind this was having a dead cat bounce within these 2 major corrections. They may not look like major corrections when you're zooming out, and especially when you're on a logarithmic growth curve scale, but these were massive dips. And you know what happened once again? So total crypto market cap, or total 2 goes up, altcoins are going on a massive rally. While this is happening, Bitcoin dominance goes on a massive cascade. What happens as soon as the Bitcoin dominance has a massive bottom down here and it starts to head up? Bitcoin dominance, or rather the altcoin market cap goes down, has a massive leg to the downside. Altcoins move back up, Bitcoin dominance moves back down. Bitcoin dominance finds its macro market low, and since then we've been on a rally, and I suspect that the Bitcoin dominance is going to keep on rallying until we come up to this valuation level of 60% for the Bitcoin dominance, meaning that, let's say hypothetically, let's just make it super simple. Let's say the total crypto market cap bottoms at exactly 1 trillion, which, by the way, once again, we're doing this to make the math super simple. I by absolutely no means think we are going to bottom at 1 trillion. I think we're going to go a lot lower, but let's just say we bottom at 1 trillion. If the Bitcoin dominance heads up to 60%, you should expect a Bitcoin market cap valuation of 600 billion and 400 billion for the altcoins. But once again, while the Bitcoin dominance is heading up, the altcoins are going to get absolutely slaughtered. You know, these are basically invert charts of each other, because it makes sense. When the Bitcoin dominance is going up, Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins. And once again, Bitcoin can outperform altcoins while altcoins are still going up, which is why you don't always see the exact bottom of these. For example, if we plotted the Bitcoin dominance over the top of the altcoin dominance, you would see they are 100% correlated, because you're simply looking at the total crypto market cap, you're looking at the percent that Bitcoin takes up, and you'd be looking at the percent the altcoins take up. So ergo, both of those collectively would take up 100% of the total crypto market cap dominance, and subsequently they would be 100% correlated. We're not looking at that. We're looking at how the Bitcoin dominance, which is a percent of the total crypto market cap, is inversely correlated to the market cap of the altcoins, not the dominance from the altcoins. So there's a slight deviation or a slight difference from that, which is why you can sometimes see, you know, Bitcoin dominance tops, and, you know, altcoins, they basically bottom down here anyway, but they're not 100% correlated all the time. However, these bottoms on the Bitcoin dominance are very black and white. I'd say the bottoms are the best thing that you can run off. So, you know, you might be wondering, you know, how am I meant to know when the altcoin, when the exact bottom for the altcoins is in? How do I know exactly when is the exact day, the exact hour to buy altcoins? Well, the simple answer to that is you won't know. There's no way of telling exactly when altcoins are going to bottom. It's just not going to happen. This is why so many people have crypto YouTube channels. We all have different opinions, we've all got different perspectives. No one knows 100%, but in my opinion, I do not think that we should expect the Bitcoin dominance to tap out until we come up to 60%. Now, bear in mind, I would like to just state one caveat before we do start wrapping up this video, and that is that this does not have to head up in a straight line. This has been heading up in a straight line, just like this did head up in a straight line over here, but at some point, I would very much like to emphasize that I do think we're probably going to have a massive run up. Maybe we'll go up to 50-53%, but then I do think we are probably going to cool off for a prolonged period of time, and I think a lot of people are going to get suckered back into the altcoins. They're going to see altcoins outperforming Bitcoin for, you know, a couple of months or so, just like we did over here. For example, if we look at the Bitcoin dominance, the Bitcoin dominance went down about 18%, representing about an 18% increase in the altcoins over Bitcoin. So altcoins in the short term outperformed Bitcoin, but what you'll notice is if we clear this up, get rid of the EMA ribbons, what did we do? You know, a lot of people were getting bullish on altcoins at this period in time because they were slowly outperforming, but all we were doing is making a massive bear flag. We had the massive pole run up, we consolidated for a couple of months. What are we doing right now? We are literally going up in a straight line, in very much in the fashion of a bear flag, or specifically the pole of a bear flag. So be super cautious. I really cannot emphasize this enough. I know I probably sound like a broken record. You've probably, you know, if you're a veteran to my channel, I've been talking about this for a month now, but the fact of the matter is, until the Bitcoin dominance bottoms, or rather until the Bitcoin dominance tops, or at least it comes up to 60%. In my opinion, buying altcoins is really, really ridiculous. I mean, if you're buying altcoins right now after looking at the Bitcoin dominance going on a massive rally, you're basically acknowledging that Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins and still saying, okay, I'm going to buy altcoins anyway, which really does not make any sense whatsoever. I mean, the charts are telling us that they're very, very clear. We've just broken out of a macro pattern. We've just fulfilled the price target of a huge, huge W pattern. We are printing a pull in what I perceive is going to develop into a massive, massive bull flag. It's going to take a couple of months breather, and then the Bitcoin dominance is going to go up for its last leg to the upside, and altcoins are going to get decimated. This is why this video will be titled Altcoin Annihilation Season, because if you think the altcoins have been slaughtered in the past month, like I said at the start of this video, we've only just started this macro move. It is going to get a lot worse in my opinion. So keep an eye on this chart. Specifically, if you don't want to look at this chart, keep an eye on my channel, turn notifications on, because I will be updating you the second I believe it is time to buy altcoins. And, you know, while the Bitcoin dominance is heading up, while the total 2, which is the altcoin market cap, is heading down, once again, I just do not think it is the right time to be looking at buying altcoins. With that being said, that is all I've got for you today. Hope you enjoyed the content. Hope you found some value in today's video. As always, Cowboy out. Peace.